give that what human-like response to the user. Let's look at how it works. Let's look at some of the features of ChatGPT before we go into how it works. Like I earlier stated, it's a natural language processing system because it has been designed to understand and process natural input from users.
Very costly on the part of the research data.
Sorry about that. Just one quick thing. I'll just do something quick. Okay. All right. So I'll just continue. So with the features, good. So with the features, right? Natural language processing system is designed to understand and process natural language input from users. So human beings are interacting with the system. And for human beings to interact with this system, the response needs to also be in the form of what? A human being. It's a large-scale language model. There's a lot of information that's been dumped in there. So talking about professionals, talking about students from all walks of life. Whatever information you put in there, whatever question you put, we're going to be doing some of the demonstrations today. And I'll be showing you how to put in those prompts to get the best answers you need and how to utilize this, how to make good use of this. Contextual understanding. Now, imagine you're interacting with a system and talking about sports, and then the response you're getting is about something else. That's not in context. ChatGPT, it understands the context of a conversation and generates responses that are appropriate to that context. So you're not going to be interacting with something that is talking about something else. No. Another thing about this platform is multilingual support. Multilingual support, it supports multiple languages. So you can go in there, type in French, it's going to respond to you in French. Type in whatever language, there are multiple languages it supports. And then user engagement has been designed to engage users. So it's going to be like a form of what? Conversation. And it provides helpful responses. This is what people use it for. In the studies, for academics, in the profession. And it's really good. Now let's look at how it works. Like I initially said, users interact with ChatGPT by sending what prompts. And then ChatGPT, and this happens in microseconds, like milliseconds, like it's so fast. So ChatGPT responds or interact with the language model stored with a lot of information, and then what responds to what the user using what human-like responses. We're going to see some of that, and there is the GPT-3, 3.5, 4 is even out there, but it's not for public use at the moment. But the platform there right now is still good, still beneficial to each and every one of us across all professions. Now, let's go back to our scenario, like I earlier started. Now, Tom took the advice of Steve by what? Jumping onto ChatGPT. Now let's look at what ChatGPT is going to do by replacing the sales team in there to what? Employ. Now ChatGPT can assist him to learn and provide recommendations about the product he wants to even sell, he wants to market. And this can help him identify potential leads. So just enter into ChatGPT. What do I need to do? How do I do this? Put in those prompts about this product, about that product, and be able to identify potential leads. And this replaces what that sales team needs to spend money to employ. Now, customer support. Imagine a company without 24/7 availability for customer support. That's going to be really dangerous. But ChatGPT is going to have 24/7 availability to answer customer queries. Due to time difference, like today, right now, it's 5:46 a.m. in Australia, in Sydney, and it's Monday morning. Imagine I want to interact with Tom's system, and maybe by now, if he's in Ghana, you should be maybe preparing to sleep. But ChatGPT is a 24/7 availability, has availability 24/7 to answer customer queries. It has a quick response time, and this frees up that time to focus on complex queries. So imagine ChatGPT is being used in this organization. The time Tom needs to interact with customers, he can use that for other things to help improve customer experience here, to help improve the company, while ChatGPT responds to the customer. And when that customer interacts with ChatGPT, like I told you, human-like response is going to be in context as well. Now, the marketing team, ChatGPT can also replace the marketing team. It analyzes customer interactions and create targeted marketing campaigns for the organization and then directed towards the customer as well. ChatGPT can also help in content creation to improve efficiency. Imagine a robot typing out information for you to push out there to help market your organization. It improves efficiency. It reduces errors. Personalized marketing campaigns for each customer. So it's not that customer A is going to have the same stuff with customer B. No, it's personalized marketing campaigns. That's it with the help of ChatGPT. And now let's get a web designer. Tom also needs a web designer to handle his website and other stuff. Maybe programmers to handle maybe an app for his organization. ChatGPT can help with detecting design errors and provide feedback on how to fix them. Imagine I've also done programming before. Imagine you're programming and you're looking for where that error is. Imagine you can't find spending hours looking for that particular error. ChatGPT. All you just need to do, copy that code, dump it into ChatGPT. ChatGPT will look for that error and fix it and show you, even explain to you why this is the error. It helps you to save time, reduce errors, and optimize the website design. This is one thing we need to know about ChatGPT. Something that's going to be replacing a lot of people in the future. Let's look at some of the AI tools that can be used with ChatGPT. GPT for slides. It can help you build presentations. Some of my slides were built by ChatGPT. I can tell you about that. Just go in there, type, I need this, put in the information you need, and then ChatGPT will present all the information you need. Resi AI helps you to write your resume with the help of AI. And another thing, when you go into ChatGPT, let's say ChatGPT is helping you with your resume, you still need to review it before you post it out there, because ChatGPT is going to give you a top resume, but you also need to review it. If ChatGPT is telling you that you've spent 10 years in this profession, you've got this information, you know this, you know about that, you also need to review it and, hey, okay, I don't have 10 years, but I know this, I know that. To review it. You understand? Good. So Compose AI is a Chrome extension that cuts your writing time. Imagine you're typing a letter, imagine you're typing an email, imagine you're typing something really important. You need something to correct maybe those grammatical errors, to correct those tenses, to put in the comma, the full stop at the right place. Auto completion as well. Maybe if it saves time. Before you finish typing, it just generates that word you're looking out for. Compose AI. So these are some of the tools. Look at QuickBoard, AI grammar and spell checker, and also Excel formula board that turns your spreadsheet program into formula in seconds. These are a lot of AI tools that can help you alongside with ChatGPT. There are quite a lot there, so you can also do some research on that. Now, ChatGPT is not the only system out there that does this. Let's look at some of the competitors. Google Bard. Google Bard is out, and I jumped on it, but I was also told that it's not available in Australia at the moment. It's only available in UK and the US. It's Google's new chatbot to take on ChatGPT. So there's some competition with Google as well with ChatGPT. And I believe this is also going to replace, maybe in the future, going to replace Google search. We also have Microsoft Copilot. This has been integrated with Microsoft Office packages. So you have your Microsoft Excel, Microsoft Word, Microsoft PowerPoint. It assists you with certain things, and it's so looking at the video is really nice. And we're currently in developmental stage, so they just announced it that this is what's coming up. So there are a lot of programming, a lot of information going on in the background that's going to rival ChatGPT. We've got the mobile ChatGPT as well. The mobile GPT as well. That's a ChatGPT on WhatsApp. Imagine it's the future. It's quite bright, and there are a lot that's going on out there. Bizology, ChatDoc, all these can help students, help professionals. It saves you a lot of time, saves you a lot of errors. You know. Now let's look at some of the limitations of ChatGPT. This system that's been built still in the learning process. Let's look at some of the limitations of ChatGPT. It's got a limited knowledge. When I say limited knowledge, there's a vast amount of knowledge that has been dumped into ChatGPT, the language model, but it can only respond based on what it has be trained on. So yes, a lot of information, but there is always an information that you may not find on ChatGPT. It may link you towards something else to go do your research. Now, language barriers. ChatGPT has the ability to understand and respond in languages other than the ones it has been trained on. Now, imagine you going to interact with ChatGPT in English. Yes, to be trained on English, French, and other standard languages. But imagine you interacting with ChatGPT in your local dialect, maybe your African dialect, maybe a dialect that is not known out there, not the standard worldwide known dialect, is going to struggle to interpret that language because that's not been trained on that language. And then training data. ChatGPT has a cutoff of September 2021. So the information that has been dumped in there, and that is the most recent information was from September 2021 upwards. So if you go to ChatGPT and enter try to ask it any real-time question, it's going to tell you that, hey, information has been dumped into my memory, and so towards September 2021. But still in the learning process, your input, my input, their input, everyone's input is going to still make it a better platform for each and every one of us. Now we're going to do some demonstration here, and if you're not on ChatGPT yet, you can just copy that link into your web browser, and we're going to sign up if you're not signed up yet. So just copy the link, chat.openai.com, and then just jump on the site. You're going to see something like this on your web browser. If you don't see that yet, then you need to maybe sign up or create an account. All right, so create an account or continue with Google. So I'm just going to share that screen now. So I'm sure you guys can see my screen. You should be able to see something like this. All right, let's see. Please the web link. Okay, I'll just type it in here. So www.chat. Okay, let me just share that page again. So that's the link. So chat.openai.com. So just enter that into your web browser. Click on sign up if you don't have an account yet. It's free, so everyone can jump on it and make good use of it. So you can create an account or you can continue with Google. So if you've got a Gmail or maybe any account, just jump on it and Um, okay, so I'll just go to my browser now. Okay, so ChatGPT now. Okay, good. So what do we start with? Let's just do a few demonstrations. I'm going to ask, let's test the information stored in there. So let's look at that language, I'm sorry, the training data that's been stored in there. So let's ask it a very recent question. So I need a recent question to ask. Let's see. Who is the let's say president? Who is the current? Let's look at who is the current president of, let's say, Nigeria. So that's the information stored in there. So the current president is Muhammad Buhari, but as of my knowledge, the cut-off date of 2021. So it just shows that whatever information you ask that is after the date 2020 September 2021, you're going to miss out there. Let's see. If you're a student and you need information on, let's say, yes, it can be used for all form of mathematical. So you can drop any question you want me to put in there, and will ask ChatGPT. So you can use the chat box, drop any question you want in there, and then let's test ChatGPT. So this is how fast you can get a response. I just typed that question and it was able to generate that response. So if you have any question, just drop it in there, and then we'll just have a test on ChatGPT. So for example, if I want to prepare a presentation slide, okay, for example, help me prepare on ChatGPT. Let's go. So what are the psychiatric presentation on metabolic syndrome? Okay, so we're going to do that. So I just asked it to give me an outline for a 5-minute presentation for ChatGPT. Now let's look at the outline. It's going to bring out all the information you need. And I hope you guys can see my screen with the browser. Okay. All right, good. So you can see the ChatGPT. Can't log into the link. So when you click on sign up, you need to create an account, or you can continue with Google. So it's just going to ask you for your email account, so maybe Gmail or Yahoo, whichever account. And yes, it can help students with their thesis as well. So just put in. So I'm going to show you how to also put in those prompts. So you need to put in the right prompt. You need to ask the question in a proper way for you to get the best response. So just drop in your questions there, and then we're going to have a look at that. So at the moment, we're looking at ChatGPT giving us a 5-minute presentation, outline for a 5-minute presentation. It's quite detailed, so you can have a look at this and then design your presentation. So imagine a student comes on ChatGPT and say, "Hey, can you assist me with a 5-minute presentation on any particular topic?" It's going to assist you with that. Now let's look at this question that was dropped in here. What are the psychiatric presentation of metabolic syndrome? Let's have a look at that question now. So ChatGPT is going to respond to that. Okay, so that's what you have there. So metabolic syndrome is, that's quite detailed. So you can have a look at this, read it, and then what come up with your own um, information. So another thing is ChatGPT. It's got a lot of information for your studies, for your profession, for example, a web designer, for a programmer. A programmer, you just need to copy your code. Maybe you're having issues with a particular send the link again. Okay, I'll just type in the link again. Let me just copy it from the web browser. Good. Now, so someone just asked something about sports. Where does Aaron Ramsey play football? I'll just paste that in there and see. Let's see what the information is going to give us. So it's going to give Ramsey was playing in Juventus in the early part of before that was in 2021, and but at the moment Ramsey is in France, so it's not able to give that most recent information. Someone is asking generate an excuse from work for me. Let's have a look at that. Generate an excuse from work for me. Let's see what ChatGPT can do. I'm sorry, as I cannot generate from work as it will not be ethical. Good. So that response is for whoever asked that question. Do you think this will make students and the youth creative and critical thinkers? Now, yes, that's a good question. So, as a student, right, for example, a researcher, right? So let me start with a researcher. You're looking for information on a particular subject. You come in here, you enter that information. ChatGPT is going to give you information regarding that subject matter. Now, as a research student, what do you need to do? You don't just copy that information and dump it into whatever you're looking, maybe as an answer for yourself. This is just out there to give you the guidelines, on what to do. Like I said about the resume, imagine, let's say, develop um, a resume, maybe a resume for for maybe an accountant. Let's see. So it's going to give you something like this. I didn't give it anything detailed, though, but it's going to give you something like this. Now, imagine ChatGPT gives you a resume like this, and you don't have a certified public accountant license, and you include that in your CV, in your resume. That's going to be a flaw. So you don't just take everything and then dump it as a student. Now you come in here, ask it a question, and then you take the answer and then you dump it. Another thing you need to know as a student is whatever question you ask it here, right? The lecturer, the teacher can also copy that answer and then dump it into ChatGPT and ask it, did you ask me this question? Now, for example, let's go up and then, because one thing about ChatGPT is it stores every information you give it. Now, for example, let's go and ask it this. Okay, let me just copy this answer because this is a short one. Just look at this. So maybe in the school, teacher asks, where does Aaron Ramsey play football? And then you went on ChatGPT, you enter that question, and then you just dump this answer for the teacher or the lecturer. Now, what the teacher or the lecturer can do is just copy that answer and come onto ChatGPT and dump it there and said, did you say this? And then I asked that, I dropped that answer there. Now let's look at what ChatGPT is. Yes, I did that. And that's it. Now, a good student, what would the student do? He's going to pick this answer and then what? Rephrase it, put it in a better form, and not just dump this into. So, a good student will not just take any answer from ChatGPT and just dump it, just to say, okay, this is going to make my work easy for me. Now, creative youth, and then critical thinkers. Now, it will depend on the prompt you give to ChatGPT. What information are you giving to it? Do you want to learn from it? Do you want to help it build your career, help it build your business, your profession? This is a better platform to use. Now, what's the future of the crypto market? Let's look at that. You see, because the information that is stored in ChatGPT enter what? September 2021. So you cannot tell what is going to be future. But this is just information, just to what guide you, assist you. Okay, this is an explanation, but you can now pick this information and then what? Generate your response. Develop a company profile. Let's look at that. For those asking for Jollof, I'm going to drop that question as well, so don't worry. Develop a company profile. Now it's going to give you the guidelines on how to do that. Now you just need to copy this information and then input your data into it, and that's all you need. So this has come to save you a lot of time, a lot of stress, save you a lot of maybe grammatical errors, and it's improved what efficiency. That's it out there, dropping out the answer you're looking for. Okay, so I'm just going to drop the last two questions and then let's look at what it says about this Ghana Jollof. So you have your information right there. So ChatGPT can also tell you what to do in terms of if you're a cook, you can come in there and just say, hey, assist me with this, assist me with that, and that's what you have there. So for those who want to learn how to cook jollof, and let's say Ghana jollof or Nigerian jollof, you can come on ChatGPT, give me the recipe for Ghana jollof or Nigerian jollof, or give me the recipe for whatever you want to bake. You can get all that information from it. So I'm just going to drop this last question. Let's see. Somatic embryogenesis in cassava. Let's look at that. Now you're going to get your information about that. And I'm sure whoever asked that question should be able to recognize the answer being given here. So these are really good ways to make good use of ChatGPT. I'm sure everyone has an account by now. If you're still finding it difficult, just make sure you sign up, create an account. It's free. You can have it on your phone, you can have it on your laptop, anywhere you go. Access any information you need to access. Let's go back to our slide. Now back to our slide. ChatGPT. Develop one-page introduction for P. Okay, we can do that later. Now let's go to our slide now. So one thing we need to also take note here is, how do you want to use ChatGPT? Are you going to use ChatGPT to grow your business or your career? Or are you going to try to trick ChatGPT by asking it questions that, let me test ChatGPT to see whether it can give me a false information. A lot of people are using ChatGPT to build their businesses. You can see some of the questions we're asking there. You come as a research student, you can drop in those really important questions in there. And that's how I can help your business. I can help your career. You can see the example of Tom, that entrepreneur. And that has saved him a lot of time, a lot of money. But there's also going to be a lot of people trying to trick ChatGPT. Which group do you fall into? The ball is in your court. Play it as you want. Thank you very much. Now the room is open for questions. So I think
okay. So let me ask some few questions before the others come in. Can you go back to the ChatGPT again?
All right, let's go back to ChatGPT.
So aside aside what we have said so far, there are other, in fact, there are a lot more that it can do. It can write letters for you. It can write computer codes. It can actually write a book. Okay, so I want us to test that one. Hello.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
just
I
say
can hear you.
write a book. I said it can be used to write a book. So let us
Yeah.
test this. Write a book for teenagers about the about the dangers of pornography.
Okay, let's go. So write a book for teenagers about the dangers of pornography. Okay, let's see. That's what you have there. So as a writer, you take this and then you develop your stuff.
Yeah, in fact, beyond. So after this one, you can go and say, write the chapter 1 for me. Just put that there. Say, write the chapter 1.
Okay. So now chapter 1, that's
Yes.
this.
So just say, write the chapter 1 for me, based on the difference.
Let's do that again.
So I think it's writing it now.
Yeah.
Understanding digits. Pornography is growing, and it writes chapter 2. This chapter will define, but now you can say, provide me details about each chapter. It can actually help you write a full book. The more you ask questions.
Yes.
So
yes.
so you can click on the stop generating. And then let's do write chapter 1 in details for me. Write chapter 1 in details for me.
That another thing is about this is, so as it writes, as a good writer, you don't need to copy this information. This is just to give you guideline. So it just brings out those ideas, right? It just brings out those ideas for you to say, okay, someone is asking, is it safe to say ChatGPT isn't collecting private data on users? It's safe. Why? Because whatever information is stored here, right, it's not going to be used against you, one, and it's only private to you. That's why you also even log in with your account as well. It's only private to you as well. So it's just like, for example, if someone should ask that question, is Google gathering information about me? Right? You go on Google and then you ask this question, ask that question. Right? Will you say Google is gathering those information about? No. But it's just those responses you're getting, right?
Okay,
For
so
example,
let's write that out. I want us to do some other examples quickly. So let's write. Say write chapter 1 for me. Write chapter 1. You just do write chapter 1 in details for me. Write the introduction in details. Write detailed introduction. Write detailed introduction. Write a detailed introduction for me. Introduction for me. Yeah. Okay, shoot. I see. Exactly. So it gives you that.
Yeah.
Now, you can also use it to if you have a research work to do in school, like he kept saying, you're not going to copy and paste,
Yeah,
but you can actually use it to write your thesis. Okay, it can help you write your thesis actually. So let's take any topic. Who has a thesis to write? Let's try it. Anybody has a thesis to write?
Yes, I'm writing one.
Good.
Yes.
Good.
What is it? Can you give me what is it?
Just as I type the somatic emergencies, just that for first, yeah.
The what?
Somatic emergencies.
Okay, so yeah,
so you can say write a research paper on this. Write a research paper on somatic emergencies in cassava. Just copy that and then let's write it. Write a research paper. First, write the outline. and then write the research outline, write an outline or a research paper outline on this topic. So copy the topic and let's put it there.
So we have this, right? And then it dropped this information. Now, if you're doing a research on this, right, you cannot pick it. Another thing to it, based on the question you ask it. Like, for example, write a research topic, write this. So you are going to drop those prompts to bring out that information. So now it's not left to the researcher to drop the right prompts. You know, ask the right, it's just like an interview, ask the right questions to bring out the information you need. So that's what makes you a critical thinker. You get it?
Okay, so
but if you just
put that in, let's see what it comes up with, and then let's do poems. Write a research paper. Okay, it will say it can write a research paper, but
yeah, because it's going that's a lot of stuff in it, right?
Yeah,
but it's just going to give you what to do.
So something abstract. It's writing you the abstract. It's giving you all those things. So it will give you the introduction. It will give you a lot of things, and then all the other parts of the research. Then you will pick it. It's sort of a guide. You're not going to copy and paste. It will give you a lot of accurate information, but you're not going to copy and paste. What it doesn't do well is will be the authors, not the authors, the references. If you try to let it give you references, it won't help. Okay. Then poems. Write a poem about I want to write a poem about my wife, Patience.
Okay. Someone just asked a question in the chat. Wouldn't the response to a particular question be the same? Wouldn't you be accused of plagiarism? Is ChatGPT dictable by? Yes. Just look at this. Now, information, like for example, this question I asked about writing a research paper, right? Now, if as a researcher, you take this information and you dump it in there. If I also come in there and write a research paper, I'm also going to get this information. This is only to give you a guideline. You need to rewrite this, put it in your own words. Now, if I put this in my own words, whatever plagiarism tool you use, you'll never be able to detect plagiarism. But if you copy this into your paper and then you submit it like that, that's where plagiarism comes in, because someone else will also do that. So what do you need to do? This comes out, you rephrase it, put it in a different form and put it out there. So you are not to copy and paste. Plagiarism is against copying and pasting.
Good. Let me add something to that. So in order to avoid, don't make the question very simple like this, write a research paper on this topic. You can add something to it. You can, after you have written this one, you can say, rewrite the introduction or rewrite the abstract. Or I don't like, so if you say rewrite the abstract right now, it will rewrite it.
Yeah, there's a part.
It will write it in a different way for you. So you can keep asking questions and getting something that is unique to you. Okay, but once again, you're not going to copy and paste. Don't.
Not copy and paste. It's just going to give you the ideas, what to type, what to put in there. It's going to give you the outline. Now, if you're asking a bit of specific questions, just put in mind that you're not copying and pasting. You're just going to rephrase this. This is what I need to do. That's how I need to put it out there. So someone is asking about the ethics and then prevent. Let's see what ChatGPT says about that.
Too loud. I just took the phone. Why does everybody love ChatGPT?
So that's
because,
it. So
because it's yeah. Please go ahead.
Yeah. So this solves plagiarism. So it has given us there are plagiarism detection software out there. So be careful. So it's not something just to spoon feed you. No. If, like I earlier said, if you as a student you copy and paste, the lecturer can copy that stuff and put it into ChatGPT. So it's also being used in schooling here in Australia. And what they do is if you use ChatGPT, they'll copy the answer and put it into ChatGPT. Did you say this? And ChatGPT will say, yes, I said that, and that's it. And there's no explanation you can give about that. So it's not left for you to rephrase that, put it in your own words. Now you have the understanding. What can you say about that? Yeah.
Let's do one poem. Write a poem about Nigeria, or write a poem about Ghana, or write a poem.
Okay, I'll just do this last one, looking at the time.
Yeah.
So write a poem about, let's say, write a poem about a little boy in Ghana. Let's see. So that's what you have right there. So it's a poem. And let me just drop this. Now, someone who is a book writer, maybe you also specialize in this. What can you do? You can take this poem, or for example, you can say, write a poem with this particular title, with this particular information, and then design that for yourself using ChatGPT. Now you get that information, you go to another site, you can also put in, maybe if you want to put pictures and all that. Now you print all of that, bind it, you can put that on Amazon, you can even sell that, you can generate money for yourself. This is also another way to generate money. So now this poem, I think this poem is a unique poem. I don't think anyone out there has written a poem like this.
Because of the inputs, yeah.
Yeah. So you can come out with this, generate this poem, put it in a book, and you go out and sell it. And imagine the amount of money you can make out of this just by sitting down and then asking the right questions. That's why I said, are you going to use this to promote your business, promote your career? Or you're going to be using this to what? Let me see if I can trick the system. Let me see if I can, but a lot of people are using this to feed themselves. Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah,
Please go
drop it
ahead.
quickly.
Back to where you were talking about plagiarism. You made a point. The teacher can just copy and come and paste the same response and see and ask. Did I ask that? I noticed you when you type. Did I ask that you left some space? Is it a format you're supposed to follow, or you can just leave one space and just like how TMD works?
Yeah. You know the thing is, like ChatGPT is like so you just need to ask the right question. That's one, and then the format as well, right? Okay, let's try that. So let's copy this response, right? Did you say this? No, I put that out there. Let's see what it says. Yes, I did say that. See, so now as a student, if you drop this information for your lecturer, and then your lecturer comes in there. So it's just I just did that just to create some kind of this is what I did. This is just a space. The way you see the way I dropped it, yeah. So now this response is a question asking if ChatGPT collects. So it just reveals the question it answered. So as a student, let's be careful because you're using ChatGPT, all right, but it can also expose you if you're not careful. What about the issue of copyright? The issue of copyright, ChatGPT has also spoken about that, but let's just ask a direct question about ChatGPT and see. So let me say this will be the last question because I'm also looking at the time as well. Yeah, ChatGPT can be installed in Excel, but at the moment, Microsoft, they're coming up with theirs that will be integrated into Microsoft Office, and that is Microsoft Copilot. So it's not out yet. It's still with the developmental stage, so it's not out yet. So we just asked ChatGPT about a question on copyright. So you just drop the information there. So now for Excel, maybe you need an information, a formula on Excel. You can now copy that information, drop it in here. I need a formula for this and that on ChatGPT, and it's going to drop you that formula you're looking out for. ChatGPT can help you with Excel issues. What advantage does it give you as a security personnel? So that's not a direct or specific question, because if I now drop that question in there, it's going to give us a generic answer. So now that's another thing. If you want to ask ChatGPT questions, be specific. let's look at that question. Let's see what the response is going to give. So it's going to be a specific, a generic answer. Now, imagine if you're talking about, so I think this is, let's see, what's this one responding to? Okay, yeah. So now, good. So now let's look at that. Let's rephrase that question as a cyber security. And let's see the response. Now you see this is not tailored. So I think maybe it was asking, it was responding to that cybersecurity. So let's be mindful of the prompt we give to ChatGPT. Try to be specific with your questions. If you just give a generic question, it's going to give you a generic answer. All right, I think that should be enough for the demonstration.
Thank you so much. No, go back. There's something I want you to say, write GPT to say thank you to you. So go back.
Okay.
Let's
okay,
use it
so
to write. Yes, say vote of thanks, give a vote of thanks to a vote of thanks to Precious, to the presenter, to a presenter called Precious. Presenter called Precious.
Yes.
I want to ask you a question.
Yes, so I would like to take a moment to express my gratitude and extend a good vote of thanks to our esteemed presenter Precious for the insightful, informative presentation given today. Your presentation has given both engagement and enlightening us with valuable insights and knowledge on the topic discussed. Your passion for the subject matter was evident in your delivery and your ability to capture our attention and sustain our interest. On behalf of the entire audience, I'd like to express our gratitude for your dedication and hard work in preparing for this presentation. You have shared your knowledge and expertise with us that was both accessible and engaging. Once again, thank you, Precious, for sharing your insights and expertise. So you can be sitting there, you are called, give a vote of thanks. You give a vote of thanks in the next 5 minutes. Just go to ChatGPT. If you have a good phone, just put it on it, and then you get answers.
Yeah, maybe
you see, I was sitting here, I just wrote, how many? We have 2 minutes. Write this, Precious, write this. My wife is angry and I want to send her letter. Right, my wife is angry. My wife is angry. My wife, and I want you to write a letter. I want to send a letter, yeah. My wife is, no, that you made it us.
So it's still
I'm
going
writing
to
this letter to express my sincere apologies for whatever actions or words of mine that have hurt you or upset you. I understand that my behavior have caused you pain and discomfort. For that, I'm truly sorry. If you don't know how to say it, if you don't know how to write it, talk to ChatGPT. So you can use it at home and use it to solve you can use it to solve your children's homework. Just copy the homework and paste it here, and it will help you solve it. Or you can ask it, how do I solve this? Okay, instead of just give me the answer, you can say, how do I? Okay.
So your prompt is very important. How do you prompt it? Because we say garbage in, garbage out. If you're not able to prompt it properly, you don't get the right response.
Exactly. So thank you so much, Precious. I promise that we'll close exactly at 7:30. I appreciate everyone for coming, and we're looking forward to the next topic next month. Thank you all, and God bless you. Let's share a word of prayer. Father, we thank you so much for what we've been able to do this hour. We pray that you help us apply this knowledge rightly and responsibly. We thank you and give you all the glory in Jesus' name. Amen. Okay, so thank you guys.